So with the 2011 con season up, you're probably planning all your costumes for this year. And if you don't like to make your costumes, you can get them online. And there's a lot of different places you can get them online. You can get them commissioned, or you can buy them on eBay. What other kind of
On Cosplay.com, they have a marketplace. You can buy people's used costumes. A lot of times this time of year, not only are people looking for costumes, but people are looking to get rid of maybe ones that they don't plan on wearing anymore. However, we wanted to make people aware of some of the things that can go on that might lead you to make a fraudulent purchase, where a lot of people end up with something that they didn't think they were buying, or they lose out on a lot of money. So we just wanted to kind of give you some pointers on, if you do choose to buy your costume, how to make sure that you're happy with your purchase. One of the biggest things that we can tell you is to beware of fake photos. I would advise never buying anything with a stock photo. That means, say you even buy one of the Halloween costumes online, say from like Leg Avenue or whatever. A lot of times you just have a stock photo and you don't actually see what the costume really looks like. It's just like buying anything else on eBay or any other website. If you don't see the actual item and you're just seeing a picture they took, or a screen cap of the anime character, so you'll see a picture of Sailor Moon and not the costume, that is not a good way to judge your purchase.
Because a lot of time, well, not a lot of times, but sometimes what some sellers will do is they'll take pictures of costumes people already made, who have nothing to do with this company, if you can even call it that, and they say, oh, we'll make you a costume just like this that this person made, and they have no idea that this company is using their picture, and you probably won't get something like what's in the picture.
Yeah, you definitely be aware of photos of cosplayers wearing a costume if it's not the cosplayer themselves selling it. That happens a lot, especially with Chinese companies, but they're not the only offenders. It's happened to me, it's happened to other people I know, where our costume pictures have been taken to use to advertise something else, and their costume definitely isn't going to look like what you made, because we have nothing to do with it. It doesn't mean their costume's necessarily bad, but you're not going to get what's in the photo. And it's also rude that they took people's pictures.
So one good way to tell if this person is going to give you a good costume is feedback. Now, through eBay, of course, they have their whole feedback system that's been there forever, and that's a really good way to check. You can also go to Cosplay.com, where they'll have threads where people have reviewed commissioners and other companies they've gone to in the past to get an idea of if this person is worth the money you're going to be giving them for the product you end up in the end.
Also, try to, if the costume already exists, or if they've made similar costumes already, get a photo of the actual costume. Make sure it's that one, get all the angles on it so that you know it belongs to them and it's not something they swiped somewhere else. If it's a commissioner and they haven't made the costume before, look at pictures of their other work. And I would say, if you are getting a costume commissioned, look at work of things they've made for other people, not what they've made for themselves, because that'll be a totally different quality, because they don't care what they spend on their own costume. They're going to put a lot of time and effort into it because they're making it for them. You want to see how much time and effort they put into somebody else.
Yeah, and definitely try and check out a couple different places. If there's a few commissioners you like, a couple places on eBay you like, see how much it costs. And if one is ridiculously low, yeah, that's pretty cool, but you want to be careful that they make sure they use good fabrics and don't take shortcuts, because if sometimes you end up with what you pay for.
Yep. And a lot of commissions, sometimes they're overpriced. So you kind of want to have another idea of what people in general are charging for the type of costume you're getting. You don't want to end up paying like $1,000 for a fuku, or something ridiculous. So you kind of look into what the materials would cost if you were going to make it yourself, but you're just uncomfortable doing that, and how much is what they're charging for their time.
And make sure, usually do some kind of contract or purchase on eBay. Make sure you know exactly what you're going to be paying for. Make sure there are no hidden fees that are going to be attached, and be careful with shipping. Even if it's a big costume, if it's being shipped, it costs a lot of money, especially if it's coming from overseas.
Yeah, a lot of the costume sellers on, say, like China or Taiwan, the costume itself is pretty reasonably priced, but then you look at the shipping and it's about equal to the amount of the costume, which isn't necessarily make it bad, but you've got to be willing to pay that. In general, there's nothing wrong with buying costumes online. You just want to watch your back. If you do make any payment methods, usually use something like PayPal, something you can contest if something go wrong. Because I think everyone who's done anything cosplay related has been screwed over at least once on the internet. And we've had successful purchases, but you just want to be careful. If possible, I do recommend buying something someone has already made secondhand, because you know exactly what it looks like. It's usually cheaper because they want to get rid of it. And you usually have a better idea of what you're going to actually end up with.
Yep. So if you choose to buy your costume, please take these tips in mind so you don't get screwed over and you have more money to spend at the convention.
And good luck.